Sundiata Keita stands as a towering figure in the annals of West African history, his legacy echoing through the corridors of time as a beacon of courage, resilience, and visionary leadership. As the legendary founder of the Mali Empire, his life story, immortalized in the Epic of Sundiata, transcends mere historical narrative to embody the collective aspirations and triumphs of a people. In this essay, we embark on a journey through the life and times of Sundiata Keita, unraveling the intricacies of his remarkable journey from humble beginnings to the pinnacle of power. In tracing the life and legacy of Sundiata Keita, we are not merely recounting history, but rather, paying homage to a figure whose indomitable spirit continues to inspire generations. As we embark on this exploration, we invite readers to journey with us through the rich tapestry of West African history, guided by the luminous figure of Sundiata Keita. Prior to the birth of Sundiata Keita, West Africa was a mosaic of diverse societies, each with its own unique cultural practices, traditions, and political structures. This period, often referred to as the pre-epic era, laid the groundwork for the emergence of powerful empires and kingdoms that would shape the course of regional history. At the heart of West Africa's pre-colonial landscape were vibrant trading networks that crisscrossed the Sahel region, connecting the interior with the Mediterranean world and beyond. Goods such as gold, salt, ivory, and slaves flowed along these trade routes, facilitating not only economic exchange but also cultural interaction and the spread of ideas. Politically, the region was characterized by the presence of numerous small-scale polities, ranging from decentralized chiefdoms to more centralized kingdoms. These entities often competed for control over key resources, trade routes, and strategic territories, leading to a dynamic and fluid political landscape. Among the most prominent regional powers were the Ghana Empire, the Sosso Kingdom, and the Kingdom of Tekrur. The Ghana Empire, which reached its zenith in the 9th and 10th centuries, controlled vast swaths of territory in present-day Mauritania and Mali, leveraging its control over the trans-Saharan trade routes to amass wealth and power. The Sosso Kingdom, centered around the city of Kumbi Sala, emerged as a formidable military power in the 12th century, challenging the hegemony of the Ghana Empire and expanding its influence across the region. Under the leadership of Sumanguru Kante, the Sosso Kingdom posed a significant threat to neighboring polities, laying the groundwork for the rise of Sundiata Keita and the Mali Empire. Meanwhile, the Kingdom of Tekrur, located in present-day Senegal and Mauritania, played a crucial role as a center of Islamic learning and commerce. With its strategic position along the Senegal River, Tekrur served as a gateway for the spread of Islam into West Africa, exerting cultural and religious influence throughout the region. Against this backdrop of political competition and cultural exchange, Sundiata Keita was born into a world poised for transformation. His birth and early upbringing would set the stage for a remarkable journey that would culminate in the founding of one of West Africa's greatest empires. The legendary figure of Sundiata Keita was born into a world steeped in myth and prophecy, his very existence foretold by oracles and seers who heralded him as a destined ruler. The story of Sundiata's birth is shrouded in the mists of time, woven with threads of divine intervention and earthly tribulation. According to oral tradition, Sundiata's mother, Sogolon Kedjou, was a woman of unparalleled beauty and virtue, but also one who faced scorn and ridicule due to a physical deformity. Despite her challenges, she was chosen by fate to bear the child who would become Mali's greatest king. The circumstances of Sundiata's conception were said to be miraculous, with Sogolon visited by a hunter named Magan Khan Fata, who was foretold to be the father of a great ruler. The prophecy surrounding Sundiata's birth foretold his destiny as a unifier and liberator of his people, a leader who would bring prosperity and justice to the land. It was said that he would be marked by physical attributes that set him apart from others, including a powerful build and keen intellect. As such, his birth was eagerly awaited by the people of Mali, who saw in him the promise of a brighter future. However, Sundiata's early years were marked by adversity and hardship. He was born into a world torn apart by conflict and political intrigue, with rival factions vying for control over the fragmented remnants of the Ghana Empire. As a child, Sundiata was forced to flee his homeland following the death of his father, Nare Magan Konate, at the hands of the Sosso king, Sumanguru Kante. Exiled from his ancestral lands, Sundiata and his family wandered the wilderness, seeking refuge among distant relatives and sympathetic allies. Along the way, they faced numerous challenges and dangers, including encounters with wild animals, harsh climates, and hostile tribes. Despite these trials, Sundiata's indomitable spirit and sense of destiny never wavered, driving him ever onward towards his ultimate goal. Throughout his formative years, Sundiata demonstrated remarkable courage, resilience, and wisdom beyond his years. He learned the ways of the hunter and warrior, honing his skills in the art of combat and survival. He also proved himself to be a charismatic leader, earning the loyalty and respect of those who crossed his path. In the crucible of adversity, Sundiata's true character was forged, laying the foundation for his future greatness. His early experiences instilled in him a deep sense of empathy and compassion for the downtrodden, as well as a burning desire to right the injustices that plagued his homeland. As Sundiata emerged from childhood into adolescence, he stood on the threshold of destiny, poised to fulfill the prophecies that foretold his rise to power. Little did he know that his journey was just beginning, and that the trials and tribulations he faced in his youth were but a prelude to the epic saga that would unfold in the years to come. The exile of Sundiata Keita following the death of his father, Nare Magan Konate, marked a pivotal moment in the young prince's life and set the stage for his eventual ascension to power. Sundiata's exile was precipitated by the usurpation of his father's throne by the Sosso king, Sumanguru Kante, whose conquests threatened to extinguish the last embers of the once mighty Mali Empire. The years of wandering were fraught with peril and uncertainty, as Sundiata and his companions encountered numerous obstacles and challenges along the way. They faced harsh climates, hostile tribes, and the constant threat of attack from Sumanguru's forces, who sought to eliminate any potential challengers to his rule. Despite these hardships, Sundiata's resolve remained unshaken, his determination fueled by a deep sense of duty to his people and a burning desire to reclaim his rightful place as ruler of Mali. During his years in exile, Sundiata tirelessly sought to gather support and allies from among the disparate factions of the region, rallying to his cause those who shared his vision of a united and prosperous Mali. Finally, after years of preparation and strategic maneuvering, Sundiata felt confident enough to make his triumphant return to Mali and confront Sumanguru and his forces head-on. The stage was set for a decisive showdown that would determine the fate of the region and shape the course of history for generations to come. The Battle of Kirina, fought on the plains of present-day Mali, would become legendary in the annals of West African history. Sundiata's forces, bolstered by a coalition of allies and inspired by their leader's unwavering courage and determination, clashed with the armies of Sumanguru in a fierce and bloody struggle for supremacy. In the end, it was Sundiata's indomitable spirit and strategic genius that carried the day, as his forces emerged victorious over the Sosso king's army. The Battle of Kirina marked the beginning of Sundiata's reign as the undisputed ruler of Mali and signaled the dawn of a new era of prosperity and stability for the region. Following his victory at the Battle of Kirina, Sundiata Keita set about consolidating his power and laying the foundations for the Mali Empire, one of the most enduring and influential states in West African history. Sundiata's vision for Mali was shaped by a desire to unify the disparate factions of the region under a single banner and to establish a stable and prosperous realm that would endure for generations to come. Central to Sundiata's efforts was the consolidation of power within his own hands and the establishment of a centralized authority capable of exerting control over the vast territories of the empire. Sundiata leveraged his military prowess and diplomatic acumen to forge alliances with neighboring states and to subdue those who resisted his rule. Through a combination of military force, political maneuvering, and strategic marriages, Sundiata expanded the borders of Mali, bringing vast swaths of territory under his control. With the territorial foundation of the empire secured, Sundiata turned his attention to the task of organizing and governing his burgeoning realm. One of his most significant achievements was the establishment of a system of provincial administration, wherein he appointed governors to oversee the administration of various regions within the empire. These governors were tasked with collecting taxes, maintaining order, and ensuring the loyalty of their subjects to the central authority. In addition to his administrative reforms, Sundiata also implemented measures aimed at fostering economic development and promoting trade within the empire. He encouraged the cultivation of cash crops such as cotton and rice, which became important sources of revenue for the empire. Sundiata also sought to capitalize on Mali's strategic position along the trans-Saharan trade routes, establishing lucrative trade partnerships with merchants from North Africa and beyond. Culturally, Sundiata's reign was marked by a flourishing of the arts and scholarship, as Mali emerged as a center of learning and innovation in the region. Sundiata himself was known for his patronage of poets, musicians, and scholars, who celebrated his achievements and immortalized his deeds in the oral tradition of griots. One of Sundiata's most notable leadership qualities was his ability to inspire loyalty and devotion among his subjects. Despite the challenges he faced in consolidating power and establishing his authority, Sundiata possessed a magnetic charisma and a genuine concern for the welfare of those under his rule. He was known for his accessibility to his subjects, often holding court to listen to their grievances and concerns, and for his willingness to take decisive action to address their needs. Sundiata's governing principles were guided by a commitment to justice, fairness, and the rule of law. He implemented a system of governance that emphasized consultation and consensus building, seeking the input of his advisors and elders in decision-making processes. Sundiata also established a code of conduct for his officials and governors, mandating accountability and transparency in their dealings with the populace. In addition to his political acumen, Sundiata was also a shrewd economic strategist, recognizing the importance of trade and commerce in fostering the prosperity of the empire. He actively promoted trade relations with neighboring states and regions, investing in infrastructure such as roads and bridges to facilitate the movement of goods and people. Sundiata's efforts to stimulate economic growth laid the foundation for Mali's emergence as a major trading power in the region, with the empire becoming renowned for its wealth in gold, salt, and other commodities. Culturally, Sundiata's reign was marked by a spirit of tolerance and inclusivity, as he sought to foster a climate of religious and ethnic harmony within the empire. Despite being a devout Muslim himself, Sundiata respected the diverse religious beliefs and practices of his subjects, allowing for the free expression of faith within the empire. He also patronized artists, musicians, and scholars from various cultural backgrounds, contributing to the flourishing of art, literature, and intellectual discourse in Mali. One of Sundiata's most enduring contributions to West African history was the establishment of the Mali Empire, which emerged as one of the largest and most powerful states in the region during the medieval period. Under Sundiata's leadership, Mali became a beacon of prosperity and stability, attracting merchants, scholars, and adventurers from across the known world. The empire's wealth in gold, salt, and other commodities made it a center of trade and commerce, while its cultural achievements in art, literature, and architecture earned it renown as a bastion of civilization. Sundiata's influence extended beyond the political and economic realms to the realm of culture and identity. His story, immortalized in the Epic of Sundiata, became a foundational myth of West African identity, celebrated in oral traditions, festivals, and rituals across the region. Through the power of storytelling, Sundiata's epic journey from exile to kingship became emblematic of the triumph of good over evil, of justice over oppression, and of the enduring resilience of the human spirit. The transmission of Sundiata's story through oral tradition and written literature played a crucial role in preserving his legacy for future generations. Griots, or oral historians, passed down the tale of Sundiata from generation to generation, ensuring that his deeds would never be forgotten. In addition to oral tradition, Sundiata's story was also recorded in written form by scholars and chroniclers, who sought to document the history and culture of West Africa for posterity. Today, Sundiata's legacy continues to inspire reverence and admiration among the peoples of West Africa and beyond. His story serves as a reminder of the power of leadership, the importance of resilience, and the enduring quest for justice and equality. As the founder of one of Africa's greatest empires, Sundiata Keita remains a towering figure in the annals of history, his legacy a testament to the enduring spirit of the African continent. Despite his legendary status in West African history, Sundiata Keita's reign is not without its historical debates and controversies. Scholars and historians have grappled with various aspects of his rule, from the circumstances of his rise to power to the nature of his governance and leadership style. One of the primary debates surrounding Sundiata's reign revolves around the extent of his agency in the founding of the Mali Empire. While oral tradition portrays Sundiata as a heroic figure who liberated his people from tyranny and united the disparate factions of the region under his rule, some scholars have questioned the accuracy of this narrative. They argue that Sundiata's achievements may have been exaggerated over time, with elements of myth and legend obscuring the historical reality. Another point of contention is the role of Sundiata's mother, Sogolon Kedjou, in his rise to power. According to some accounts, Sogolon played a central role in shaping Sundiata's destiny, serving as his mentor and advisor throughout his formative years. However, others suggest that Sogolon's role may have been overstated, with her portrayal in oral tradition reflecting societal norms and expectations rather than historical fact. Furthermore, interpretations of Sundiata's character and actions vary widely among scholars and historians. While some portray him as a benevolent and enlightened ruler who governed with wisdom and compassion, others view him as a pragmatic and ambitious leader who pursued power and prestige at any cost. Similarly, debates rage over the nature of Sundiata's relationship with Islam, with some scholars arguing that he was a devout Muslim who sought to promote the spread of the faith, while others suggest that his embrace of Islam was primarily strategic, aimed at consolidating his authority and legitimizing his rule. In conclusion, Sundiata Keita occupies a central place in the tapestry of West African history, his legacy enduring as a symbol of courage, resilience, and visionary leadership. Despite the debates and controversies that surround his reign, Sundiata's significance in shaping the course of West African history cannot be overstated. As the legendary founder of the Mali Empire, Sundiata's story serves as a reminder of the enduring quest for justice, freedom, and self-determination. His epic journey from exile to kingship embodies the triumph of the human spirit over adversity and the transformative power of leadership in times of crisis. Moreover, Sundiata's story remains as relevant today as it was centuries ago, serving as a source of inspiration and guidance for future generations. In a world beset by division, inequality, and injustice, Sundiata's example reminds us of the importance of unity, compassion, and solidarity in the face of adversity. In the final analysis, Sundiata Keita stands as a towering figure in the annals of West African history, his legacy a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome obstacles and forge a brighter future for generations to come.